There's a saying in farm country, if it doesn't look right, it probably isn't. But what happens when we stop noticing what right even looks like? It was early autumn in southern Alberta. A part-time farmhand, brought on for harvest season, climbed up onto a combine to clear a grain blockage. The machine was off, but not locked out. He was young, inexperienced, tired. The sun was setting, and the crew was trying to finish the last field before the weather turned. In the fading light, he reached in. A second later, the auger spun back to life. He lost 3 fingers before anyone even knew what had happened. The incident was tragic, but it wasn't unpredictable. Because 3 days earlier, a full-time farm operator had noticed that the combine's PTO had a faulty switch. He meant to fix it, meant to flag it. But he was also behind schedule. The parts order hadn't arrived, there was too much to do. He looked away, and in doing so, a chain reaction began. Agriculture is one of the most dangerous industries in the world, not because farmers don't care about safety, but because the nature of the work tests the limits of observation. It's fast, seasonal, physically exhausting, spread out, often solitary. The weather doesn't wait, livestock don't follow rules. Equipment breaks at the worst possible time. And in all of it, there's an unspoken pride in just getting it done. But what gets missed in that pressure, what gets normalized, can be deadly. In a rural district of Bihar, India, a smallholder farmer had been irrigating his land with an aging electric pump. For weeks, he had noticed exposed wiring near the control box. He'd meant to repair it. His neighbor's son, a teenager helping after school, went to turn it on barefoot. The ground was wet. The boy was electrocuted. The entire community grieved. And still, no one had meant for it to happen. Observation in agriculture isn't always about high-tech systems or formal audits. Sometimes it's a boot print in a place it shouldn't be, a missing ROPS bar on an old tractor, a fence left untied, a dog barking at the barn door longer than usual. The signs are there, but the routine of rural work and the autonomy that comes with it can dull the edge of vigilance. In the UK, a report by the Health and Safety Executive showed that over a 5-year span, nearly 50% of all farm-related fatalities involved workers over 60. Many of them were experienced, respected, but they had also internalized years of "I've done it this way forever." And that's where safety observations in agriculture hit a cultural wall. When routine becomes religion, change feels like betrayal. Let's consider a story from the US Midwest. A dairy operation ran 3 shifts daily. One morning, a worker slipped on a patch of silage juice near the feed trough. He tore his ACL. A co-worker had noticed the spill an hour earlier but was in a rush to prep for milking. Later, during incident review, the comment came up, "We all see stuff like that every day, and that's the problem. Seeing isn't observing if it doesn't lead to action." So what do effective agricultural safety observations look like? First, they're community-based. In a Nova Scotia cooperative, farmers instituted a peer observation network. Once a month, neighboring farms sent one member to walk another's operation. It wasn't punitive, it wasn't a test. It was a shared practice, one farmer to another, asking, "What do you see here that I might have missed?" Over time, the blind spots shrank. So did the incident reports. Second, they're seasonal. Hazards shift dramatically with the calendar. During planting, there's risk from seed drills, PTOs, and long hours. In harvest, it's grain dust, fatigue, and moving equipment. In winter, it's livestock stress, confined spaces, and heating systems. Observation has to evolve with the season. That means retraining, reposting reminders, and walking the grounds with fresh eyes each cycle. Third, they're embedded in routine. One ranch in Queensland, Australia started a gate check program. Every time someone opened or closed a gate, they had to pause, breathe, and scan 360 degrees. Just 3 seconds. What's changed since I last came through? It might be a new divot from an ATV, a frayed wire, a missing calf. The point was to ritualize attention, to build it into muscle memory. And fourth, they're supported by wellness. Farming is hard. It's isolating. The rates of depression and suicide in agricultural workers are among the highest of any profession. Fatigue, financial strain, and generational expectations wear people down. A tired farmer misses the same warning signs they'd catch on a better day. That's why progressive ag organizations are now pairing safety programs with mental health support, because the clearest eyes come from the healthiest minds. There's one more story to share. In Saskatchewan, a father and son were clearing brush near a fence line. The son, new to the work, noticed that one of the chainsaws had a cracked handle and missing chain brake. He pointed it out. The father hesitated. It had been used that way for weeks, but this time he paused. They shelved the saw. The next day they replaced it. Nothing dramatic happened, and that's the point. The observation worked because it broke the chain before it started. That's what we're aiming for. If you work in agriculture, your world is full of moving parts, shifting seasons, and silent risks. You don't need more rules. You need sharper eyes, louder voices, and the space to trust what you see. Ask yourself, what have I stopped seeing? What am I walking past because it's always been that way? What would I notice if this was my first day on this land? Because safety doesn't grow on its own. It's planted, observation by observation, one field at a time. In our next episode, we head to the construction site. Dust, noise, elevation, and everything in motion. We'll look at how safety observations must adapt when the workplace is built from scratch, every day. See you there. In the meantime, thanks for sharing these videos, and welcome to the community.